Joined now in studio with Ethan Finlay. And Ethan, last year we were talking a lot about you finding the back of net with Federico Higuain being the assist guy. And now it's a little bit of a different story. You're still finding the back of the net, your sixth goal after Sunday's win over the Chicago Fire. But really, you've been the setup man for Kei Kamara, but 11 assists this season. You're currently leading the league. You know, what has been the evolution of your game from last season to where we're at right now?
Yeah, in the preseason, Greg kind of spoke with me and said my role was going to be, changed a little bit this year and what they're going to ask of me. And I knew with Kai coming in, it was going to be a great asset for us, and it was going to be a great asset for me, personally, a guy that is just an absolute beast in the box. And so, I guess the goal pressure was going to be taken off me a little bit. Obviously, they would still love for me to score 11 goals, such as last year. But when you have a guy, that's at 14 goals right now. We're just over halfway through the season. That's pretty special. So that evolution has taken some time to progress. But once we get that train rolling, it's been going pretty well.
Do you like this role better?
I do, because I think I found myself in some great positions offensive this year to either make great passes to not only Kai but to Federico and to Justin and to Tony, but as well as I think I've had quite a few chances to score goals. Maybe a little unfortunate not to have a couple more to my name, but it's taken away a double team if there ever has been one on me, where now I'm really just playing against the left back, whereas before I think I was kind of in between with the left center back and the left back, and so it's drawn more guys towards Kai, which has opened up a lot more room for the other guys in the front.
I spoke with Greg Berhalter after Crew SC's home win, not the one on the road, at home over Chicago Fire. I asked him about your performance, and he said, regardless of what's going on in the game, it's his work rate, and he never stops working. When did you develop this work rate?
Pretty young age. My dad always kind of instilled you can always work hard regardless of how the game's going, whether it's bad or you're frustrated. That's something that you can have an impact on the game, just on your work. And I started to kind of realize that, I think, when I got into the collegiate level, that if I was going to make an impact at the next level, I was going to have to be one of the hardest working guys. My body, I'm not the biggest guy, maybe not the strongest guy, at least look that way, but I'm going to outwork the guy. And if I outwork him, for 90 minutes, I can make something happen.
There's been a lot of talk about you in the U.S. men's national team and a potential call-up. I know you're a guy that likes to focus on the here and now, but with that, what are your thoughts on that, and how does that fall in line with some of your goals?
Well, it would be a tremendous honor to play for my country, and obviously it's definitely a goal of mine. As you kind of alluded to, though, I'm focused on the club soccer, and it's been interesting to watch the Gold Cup and see kind of how this team has played under Jurgen Klinsmann, and it's exciting. I think if I continue to on the path that I'm on right now, I'm definitely going to be in line for a call-up, and so I just have to focus on me and the Columbus Crew right now.
When it comes to things like the U.S. men's national team or even the All-Star game, a lot of people feel that you should have been on the MLS All-Star roster along with Kei Kamara. How much of a mental game is it for you possibly to just really keep your focus on what you're doing on a daily basis?
Well, I guess my answer is you saw that I'm completely focused. I came out after as the so-called snub, as people are calling it, and performed just as I expected to. So it's a tremendous honor, first for Kai and for our team. I think it shows the level of team we have, and for me, obviously it would have been a great honor, and I would have loved that opportunity. It's not going to discourage me by any means, and we move forward, and the good thing is best 11 isn't voted on by fans.
All right, so with that, it seems like you have, we've talked about your physical game, your work rate, but let's talk about the mental game for you. This is something we were talking a little bit about off camera with golf and how it is such a mental game, but soccer, for you, what's your vantage point on how the game is for you mentally?
It can be very frustrating. When you don't get many touches in a game, you have to kind of make the best of them, and it can be frustrating, if you start poorly. If your first touch isn't great, you lose, a couple balls here and there. And recently, our team, we've gone down early, and mentally, as a collective group, it's difficult, and you see guys' heads drop. But I think through this process, we've learned that there's so much time left in games, and there's opportunities that we're going to create, and it's being focused in that moment and not letting those discouraging moments get the best of you in the moment that you need to be at your 100% tip-top shape. So I think personally and as a team we've gotten a lot better at that because it's extremely important. We've shown this year that we can come back, and we can come back and tie games, we can come back and win games, and it's important going down the stretch.
Ethan Finlay, an all-star in our book. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Thank you guys for having me.